was going to say, one of the leading things I wanted to investigate was how old the outpost was. I figured if they built the outpost in winter, that would have told us a hell of a lot about what they got. Would have had to have had some type of druid wizard, something to be able to dig that deep.
They built it before winter. They abandoned it before winter.
All right, and we got a good idea now, at least, as to why they abandoned it.
Jonathan, were you going to do anything?
No, I'm just following along with.
Okay.
I'm not really doing anything more than looking around.
Love to stand right at the border of it there, and I guess just roll a perception in general. I want to make sure there's no trap or anything that...
Your feet crunch on the snow, and as you approach, you're looking around. There's a couple things of lumber that could be salvaged. Of course, the outpost itself could probably be taken down and the logs used, but it doesn't seem like any traps were left.
All right, let's head in.
Do I have that sense of, well, out of character, do I have that sense of violence returning to me?
Not yet, no.
How long?
Okay.
No, never mind. All right, so did he say how far away that swamp was from wherever we were, wherever we're going?
From wherever you were, you look on the map and you think, even though it's not mapped out yet, you think it's roughly 12 to 20 miles from the border of the swamp.
Okay, and how are we about that same distance from the swamp now? Or are we farther? Closer?
You're slightly farther.
All right.
But not much.
I will, at this time, I will let everybody else know that when I was camping nearby, I felt some type of magical and or, I kind of already voiced why I assumed the whole Fae thing, you getting, so Fell found Fae right within 6 miles, and I said, hey, that could probably be why they abandoned that fort so quickly. It kind of makes sense. It was haunted or whatever. But when I came here, I also felt the presence of something extra-worldly that I didn't feel 100% comfortable while I was here. So I will also bring that back up. And if I feel that way again, I'll let everybody know.
Yeah, everyone is just, you feel fine, actually, right now. As he's telling the story, you take that introspective moment. You're like looking at your arms, making sure there are no goosebumps or anything, or any weird whisperings, and there's nothing that you can really tell right now. Nothing strange, out of the ordinary.
It's pretty clearly the Fae that were talking to you or messing with your mind.
Wait, was it daytime when this was happening? Was it night? Were you sleeping here?
It was at night.
Yeah, he slept here.
Well, I slept nearby, but yes.
He slept nearby.
Okay, it was when you were...
Any tools about? Anything?
Hold on.
We lost John.
My connection's a little jittery.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa, where are you? Shit.
That's the ghost whispers!
Oh!
What happened?
There you go. Your portrait disappeared.
Your portrait.
Yeah, my internet just flickered twice. So.
Okay, it flickered. Ooh. So anyway,
yeah, it's just saying that it goes down and then it's right back up.
Fantastic.
I mean, survival-wise, I know that it was abandoned because of Fae or Ents or evil thingies in the swamp.
That is your best assumption. There's
right,
the
nothing
Fae.
more.
You spend a couple hours here discerning that. You're looking at everything. It's probably around 2 to 3. You have a couple hours left of light.
Any tools or anything like that?
Tools, it looks like everything useful has pretty much been scavenged already. Anything that needed heavy transport, like all the big logs that formed the wall, are still there. So you think the things that already constructed, they left. You go over here, you notice there's framework, or what used to be framework that was taken up, but the ground has been cleared. If you move away the snow, it's been flattened and tamped down. to provide lodging, but it looks like they picked that part up. But some of it...
I understand I'm going to need a pretty damn high insight roll for this. I want to get an idea of, based on walking my whole way around, even if I spend another hour, if I can tell certain logs. Mainly I'm looking for how many people it may have taken to build this, and I'm going to base that variable on when these logs were planted and how old they are.
I'm gonna
be high.
That'd be more of a perception check than insight.
Okay.
Can I guide you on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please.
Roll.
Give me a D4.
Zach dropped out again. What the heck? That's all right.
All right. Am I rolling it this time? Last time you were rolling it.
Go ahead and roll it, Kevin. Just you cast it, but it's a cantrip, so you cast it for free, anyways. All right. So 14. You're perceiving you think it could be anywhere between 5 to 20 people. It's a big margin, but that's what you can narrow it down to, is what you think. How many people
It's more than what we got back at home.
Yes.
Probably just about double the workforce would have done it, but maybe could have been more. I mean, our guys back at home were doing a lot, and I've never really looked at the building of any of this stuff. So I'll convey that to the group that, at least builder-wise, I don't know what they got in terms of an actual army or anything like that. At least just hard labor, they've got 5 to 20. Would be my best guess.
2 weeks worth of labor, and they have way better craftsmanship than us. That's what Atlas would have.
So we should steal their carpenters.
This is better craftsmanship for sure.
It is better than us.
Yes,
for sure.
Yep.
This is the only building in the settlement.
Well, this is the outpost itself.
Yeah, there's nothing in here, no supplies. And then I also checked for markings of House Saris or House Mathis or any of the big five, and no markings were found. So
they built the walls in these platforms before anything. I mean, no other buildings or anything are here. It looks like they built the walls and left. Right? I mean, they're not on the map. There's no other building.
You saw framework for buildings to be marked down, but they were either so early in the process that they were broken down and transported, or just, depending how big the wagon was, transported parts of the frames themselves to the other encampment, is what you got out of it. But it looks like they did build the walls and the outposts, the looking places, the looky-loos. They didn't build a gate, it looked like, but it looks like they were about to before they decided to pack up.
I think it's pretty straightforward. I think we go ahead and take control of what they built and try and forge a relationship with the Fae. And I think our elf friend here, Fel, can take care of that for us. And unfortunately, it wasn't one night before they bothered me. I certainly imagine tonight's going to have something of the same. So, Fel, I look forward to your diplomatic relationships with the Fae, and I think that we can go ahead and take possession of this fort and build an operation to...
I'm fairly sure I was asking you to be diplomat with the Fae, and you to talk...
I'll talk to the humans, okay? Any type of forest creatures, obviously, I tried to talk to the tree ant. I did my best, as you saw, and I hope that you can appreciate and thoroughly respect that I did my best to not attack that tree. I tried to talk to him, but honestly, getting thrown, it wasn't my thing. The creatures of the wild are really, that's going to be more you. The humans in castles and palisades, that's more my style. So, but I will certainly help. To the best of my ability, I will help you, Fel.
Well, before we can take this, we got to see the other place. And to be honest with you,
it's not easy to approach, my friend. They have a view. We'll have to approach at night, no light, and even then, it's all right. Just a second, I'm gonna refresh for a minute.
Mid-sentence.
Yeah, mid-sentence.
All right.
Must have been urgent.
He was jittery. He doesn't like being jittery. You're good.
I don't like being jittery.
Cocaine.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
the cocaine.
Anyways,
It's totally the cocaine.
you were
So I
talking.
say that they have visibility, like 20, 40 miles in all directions. It's going to be very hard to approach without being seen.
You're
and-
thinking 10 to 20, not 20.
40 miles in all
10 to
Jesus
20.
Christ.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, fine. 10 to 20. There we go. Thank you, Matt. 10 to 20. Well, they have crazy fucking visibility, and it's snow covered. It's us against the white landscape. We're going to be easy to see unless we approach at night. So just keep that in mind. I'm more than happy to go and rain on their parade, but we're going to have to do it on our battlefield, which is my personal battlefield is the night. So
How deep is the snow around here? Matt?
It's pretty deep. It comes up to your knees, so Dannerby is effectively. But since he's
I could
pretty
just
light,
tunnel under.
he's pretty light, and a lot of it's been ice packed.
We can
so
fashion him some snowshoes.
He actually already walks pretty much on top, anyways. Everyone else is kind of sinking though through it.
If it's packed, any chance? Oh, I guess first of all, I don't know if you want a survival that I've lived through this. Fashion and snowshoes. Up to you.
Yeah, you can make a survival check.
See if I
Advantage, of
remember.
course, but so 14.
Oh.
Yeah, you can make some. You make one pair. It takes about an hour to do. You start making it from things that you have on you, some twine that you find laying around, and you make a small set of snowshoes for Dannerby. And the
Yeah,
sun
man,
is
that's
starting to set
not-
now. What's everyone else doing in this time? Just kind of laying around in the cold? Just kind of...
I'll look around whatever kinds of whatever they left around.
Yeah, it's
not
mainly just
really-
like some twine. You do find a 30-foot bundle of rope, 30 feet long, laying around.
Not bad.
Do I have any
Ooh.
rope already?
Ooh.
But
Like,
you-
is it hempen?
It is hempen rope, yes. And why does that keep popping out? I don't understand. Connection
I don't.
issues, I guess.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to talk about it. Back button on your microphone. I got you. He keeps hitting it, guys. I don't know why.
That
So,
was the back button in the browser.
you guys, Alexander finds some rope, and
I'll
Fells.
grab the rope.
Yeah, Fells over there crafting some snowshoes for Dannerby. Dannerby, you're eagerly awaiting your snowshoes. All right. Anything else, guys?
Never with rope.
Atlas, I'm concerned. You said you were feeling might and violent in the middle of the night here.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
feel-
didn't feel
you-
like myself.
You want to be killing something.
Not right now. I'm good.
No, but
When you were here
then.
before.
Then, how did we word that? I was able to resist it. I didn't have to attack something.
You were just angry. You were angry.
I was just angry, and I wanted to be violent, but it was the urge, and I was able to shake it off. And personally, it gave me flashbacks of my training, but I wouldn't tell you that. So,
I mean, does it make sense for us to not sleep? To get, I mean, I'd like the outpost for coverage, at least from the elements.
Yeah. I think it's probably fine to stay here. I wasn't in the outpost last time, so maybe the outpost will give us that coverage.
Not
feel
great
like
for liking. But I figure if we all sleep in our corners, right? We all sleep in a corner. Hopefully, any of us hear someone tromping through the snow, unless they're quiet and stealthy like.
Which we already. I mean, I've told you about the enemies the tree ant was upset about. Like,
Yeah.
we can also talk about it again for the viewers at home or whatever. But as soon as he said men covered in tattoo, he basically was inferring men covered in tattoos, right? They are sneaky because they're like me. So
I'm worrying more about us betraying each other. To be quite honest with you, I've seen enough of charms and magics. Don't have great knowledge of it. Can't tell you exactly what they might be using, but I just want to make sure we're not putting arrows in each other's heads in the middle of the night.
I'd wager
Friend,
that
you're the only one with the
reason
bow.
we left this fort is because of whatever it was that made you lose it. There was some kind of conflict or something here, so they moved farther away. Maybe they have some wizard or something that was able to figure out that it was coming from the swamp, and they moved farther away.
It's a conflict with each other that I worry most about.
I think we should move farther west.
The sun is setting now, by the way.
We're trying to attack at night. Why don't we just attack?
It's a ways away right
It's
now.
too far away.
Yeah,
We'd have to do it
We
the next
even know
day.
that we really want to attack right now.
Yeah, it's too far. We should go camp 20 miles out and then work our way in at dusk. That's how I would attack that fort.
All right.
Like not
So
now.
that's not the night.
He's saying
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, tonight's not the night. We
All
have
right.
we have to be here for one night.
All right.
Right, so are there really these 4 buildings, little huts?
Yeah, they're not really huts. They're essentially on stilts with ladders going up to them. They're just little lookouts that come up almost to the height of the wall, but enough to give a little bit of cover. Someone.
Atlas will go start setting up a hammock.
Do you go up in between the stilts?
Yeah, like
Okay.
that.
It's a little bit warmer than it was last night. You could probably get by without a fire if you wanted to. You have some trail rations to chomp down on.
Yeah.
That
That's,
sounds good, man.
Grab this one.
All right, All right, so Phil's top left, Atlas top right, Alexander's bottom right, and Danaby's bottom left. Okay,
So,
then.
So you said it's a rope ladder that leads up, right?
No, it's a wooden ladder actually.
Wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
if anybody wants to kill someone, please make a scream as loud as you can, and make sure you wake the rest of the folks.
By the way, the walls are around 15 to 20 feet tall, and the lookouts come up to about 16 feet. So it's a 16-foot ladder.
If Atlas is going to take a bow and arrow from Fel because Fel gets compelled, I'm jumping over the wall. That's
All right.
Yeah.
So
Is there any cover from the from one of these to the other? Like if someone did want to get a bow from.
if you're sleeping on top, it depends where you are. You're either sleeping on top of the thing or below it, underneath by the stilts. Atlas is underneath the thing
Okay.
in a hammock.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
Yeah. What is everyone else doing?
I'm on top.
All right. So you're top. Never mind.
I'm definitely.
So,
And
Fel,
Fel?
what are you doing?
I mean, I guess I just want to be off the ground. I don't want to be on top of it. I want to be, I guess, within that scaffolding, so to speak, up. If I can tie
Fashion
something
a
up or
hammock.
anything.
Yeah, you've got some
Yeah.
twine, and it's not going to be the most comfortable thing. Make a survival check.
Absolutely.
Quickly fashion a. Yeah, you're able to do it. You tie some rope through your bedding, and you'll sleep. You
Ain't nothing new.
Yeah, you're fine. So you're below it. So what are you doing there, Alexander? Atlas and Fel are below the things. Dennerby's on top of one.
I guess I'll just stay below.
Okay, you'll stay below. So the night passes. Who's on first watch, second watch, third watch, fourth watch?
I'll go
Didn't
for
go
it.
so well last time when I went first.
Why don't we keep the same order?
All right.
And
Danby first, Jonathan or Alexander last, Atlas third, Phil second, right?
nope, other way around.
Other way. All right, I got
The
you.
second.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good then. So everyone goes to sleep, except for Danby. You're sitting there. You're just
hanging out.
snow starts to fall, just lightly, not a heavy blizzard. And your shift is up. You go and wake Atlas up, and Atlas, you assume the position. You're just looking out, and Dannerby goes up there and sleeps. Meanwhile, Dannerby, you start going
I'm a
to
power
sleep.
bottom.
Yeah. Oh god. Anyways, guys. So Dannerby, you start going to sleep. You shake a little bit, and you're having a quite pleasant dream. A beautiful gnome that you had laid with before is giving you a seductive dance, and she goes over to you to touch you, and her skin starts melting away to the bone very slowly, and her arm just falls off, and her face becomes wrinkled and old, and her teeth brittle and yellow as she lets out a cacophonous laugh. Yes, that's just right. Please. Just like that. And you wake up screaming.
I would say so.
Also, you have -9 to your maximum hit point total.
Permanently?
A good question.
I killed a mosquito.
Nice.
Don't mind me. It's like fucking winter here, practically. I don't understand.
Right now, you can't think about that. All right? You just wake up in a cold sweat.
Crap.
Screaming. And Atlas, you hear a scream. Everyone else, okay, fell. It was loud enough to wake everyone else up.
All right, well, I'm already awake, so I'm running towards him. Where's he at?
He's at the bottom
Dannerby,
left.
right?
Yeah, Dannerby.
All right. I can make it there in one turn.
Let's kind of move over there and, with my sword drawn, looking around.
I can make it there in one turn.
All right.
About an hour has gone by that you know, by the way.
Under 50 is going to be a mistake.
All right, Phil, let's loose.
24.
Yeah. You take 12.
Atlas.
Atlas. Okay.
At Atlas, he's running towards the guy who's screaming.
Okay.
I wake up. That's, as I said, under 50 was going to be a mistake. But
yeah. You just let loose at Atlas, and Atlas, you hear. You try to dodge it last second, but it gets you in your shoulder. Take 12 points of piercing damage.
Luckily, it's only half damage, but you should still feel terrible about yourself. So,
back off now. And I'll
Alexander, you hear this going on between Fel and Atlas.
What in the hell's going on? What are you doing?
Atlas.
You want another? You're back off now.
What are you talking about? He's screaming. I'm checking on him.
He's screaming because you're charging him.
Dannerby?
Dannerby?
You got 3 seconds to back away right now, Atlas.
I'm there, dude. I covered that distance.
2.
Okay, hold on.
One.
While this is going on, before you roll, Dannerby, what do you have? 3 seconds to act.
I'm on top of the platform.
Yes.
Shoot me.
One.
I'm going to start climbing down the ladder.
Okay.
Use your words, Dannerby. Now it's time for words.
I'm going to try to get under this thing and like behind a pillar or something.
So he's frightening. He's frightened. 3 seconds have passed. Atlas has not backed down. Dannerby's climbing down the ladder.
Yeah, Alice is not backing down.
All right, 16.
He's standing there.
16 versus your AC, Atlas.
It misses, and I tell him.
Another bow goes right by your head.
That was your warning, friend.
All right, I move into here. It's like, both of you, calm down.
What you want to be calm is the guy attacking our little friend here.
Dannerby, what happened?
I have no idea. I'm still. Am I on the ground yet?
I think Zach's distracted.
Yeah, I'm not moving. I just would tell Dannery to use his words so that Fel can realize that he's acting like a complete jackass.
All right. So
The
Alexander,
precipice is on Dannerby.
Dannerby, you reach the ground and you hide behind one of the stilts.
I was like, for Christ's sake, for Helm's sake, stop shooting.
Yeah, you hear this from Dannerby there.
There you go.
By the way, Alexander, it's really dark. You can just barely make out the figures. You're just going over there like the campfire is just barely still crackling. You guys made one.
For Helm's sake, why was he charging you in your
I wasn't
scream?
charging. He was screaming, and I was responding to it.
Are you saying that in character?
Yes. He screamed, and then I ran. It was absolutely a secondary action.
He screamed, and then you were right there, friend. I know you're fast, but are you that fast?
I'm faster than you are. Yeah, I can cover this distance in like a turn. Absolutely, Dannerby, it's on you, man. It's on you to explain the situation because Fel's gone off the deep end.
Meanwhile,
And
Alexander's like.
it's almost insulting.
I've gone off the deep end.
Meanwhile, Alexander's in the middle of you two, telling you guys to shut the fuck up, essentially. Right?
Absolutely off the deep end.
Is that what you were doing there, Jonathan?
Just about, yeah.
Okay.
I just want to hear what Dannerby has to say.
Distrust the black guy. I understand. It's just because he's dressed like a ninja. God damn it.
Alexander turns to you, Dannerby, and asks you what's going on.
You're 50-50, Fel. I like my chances.
I'm just gonna really briefly explain that I got bitten by something in my dream. Some hag or witch or some sort of foul woman.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Would you have liked some reassurance?
You're still shaking at
I
this
don't
point.
appreciate the sarcasm, man.
It's not sarcasm for you. I was checking on you.
I'm not appreciating the sarcasm either, friend.
Instead,
I mean, you're the one who brings up the whole topic that you felt angry, you felt nasty, and then all of a sudden I see you charging our little friend.
I wasn't charging. Were my weapons out? No, they weren't. I was just running.
I'm sorry if it's a little bit tough to see that at first glance. My first instinct is defending those who are closest to me.
You're an elf and you can see in the dark. There's really... I know you've wanted to put an arrow in my hide for a long time now, which I don't understand why, but...
Not wanting to. I did. I mean, it's sticking there, friend.
I mean, thank goodness it was a nice little glazing blow, and the second one missed, which is really all that matters.
The second one missed because I wanted it to.
Dannerby's all right. That's all that really matters at this time. And you have no reason to distrust my motives at all. All right, insight.
What are you inciting?
I want to know if he really is thinking, was his response because he distrusts me because of the Fae thing, or distrusts Atlas as a person? Is it? So the question is it Atlas you distrust, or did you really think it was a Fae thing? Atlas was possessed by a Fae or enchanted or whatever, was compelled to do something. That's the question.
It was, Fel, you can correct.
I want Fel to respond. Yeah.
All right, Fel, go for it.
I mean, I assume telling the truth of this, of what it is.
Yeah, what is your
Tell
character's...
the truth. You don't have to counter roll if you tell the truth. Yeah.
Hang on.
Do you distrust Atlas, or do you think he was compelled and that's what you were shooting at?
That's what he's inciting for.
Yeah, wouldn't try to deceive or anything. I trust you as a politician, as someone who does it. I know enough about mind control and about anything like that, and I've got a certain liking to Dannerby, who had come to help a friend of mine. I'd do anything I could to defend him right now, and honestly, you were the obvious target. At a game, it was very obvious. I rolled under the 50. I figured it was a 50-50 chance that Fel wakes up. It's not anything that necessarily Atlas has done. Atlas is already a shady character, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I accept that as that.
You generally thought that it was mind control going on.
Right. Absolutely. I didn't shoot Atlas for a cheap free shot.
So,
I would have shot him because he was running towards a screaming halfling who I have a very vested interest in keeping alive.
So, Atlas, you're kind of looking at Fel, and you realize that he really does probably think that you were possessed. As you're kind of groggily, like, coming recollection, that's exactly why you all slept in 4 different corners of the outpost in the first place. And it could very easily be misconstrued that you were mind possessed in a certain position.
The first one's free, he says to Fel, and then he looks to Danderby and he says, "Dreams are just dreams, my friends," and then he goes back to bed.
Just so we're totally clear,
I say
Atlas said that he was angry after a dream, right?
Yeah, I said that it wasn't a dream. I said that I felt an extra presence that was making me feel angry when I stayed here by myself that one time.
All right. Of all the details you got that you told us, so it was not because you slept here, just because you were here for a long amount of time, right?
I don't know. I'm not a magician, man. I'm just a fucking ninja.
I'm just asking exactly what you told us, so that I'm not. Alexander's just trying to think this through, and I'm just trying to make certain of everything that you said.
I would have said it the same way it was told to me, which was that I felt an urge to hurt others, but I was able to overcome it. It simply reminded me of my training. And
I'm trying to get a grasp of the timing of it. Like, if it was after prolonged exposure or if it involved sleep.
No, I mean, I have reason to believe that's why they left this camp. So, I mean, I think that it's something else. And as soon as Fel realized that there was Fae in the area using his technique, and I'm sure he would have informed the party, it would have put 2 and 2 together. 2 and 2 together. Don't hold it against drunk Zach, okay? Jesus.
No, and totally out of game. I understand that was a horrible call to make. I figure that's the first call I would make. Is
it's fine, guys.
Yeah. Good enough.
Drew, say something real quick.
Hey, how's it going, Matt? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think I might have just blocked the mic or leaned away from it or something. I don't know. It's not on my headset. It's the computer.
Yeah. All right.
One.
Cool. Sounds good. So, Dannerby, do you have make our religion check or arcana? Like you're trying to think about this. What the fuck just happened? One second, your dream was very great. What's up?
Do you want me to do whichever is higher?
Whichever one you want to do.
Whichever is higher.
Yeah.
Religion.
Okay. So you're trying to find a religious purpose about it, and you just can't. You're so rattled. Like, oh, you just feel weaker though. You feel physically drained, and Alexander, you kind of over there too. Fel really hasn't left his outpost yet. From the looks of it.
Yeah, I jumped down. I'm not in the same place I was, but seeing that stuff's going back, I'll return to my home.
Derby, 1 second you were having a great dream, the next it was hell on earth. You wish you could have woken up sooner, but something kind of felt like it was keeping you there, making you finish this horrible dream, this unsightly dream. And so everyone else goes to sleep.
Can I try to stay up?
Yeah, you can try to stay up.
I just get like one level of exhaustion, right?
Yeah, you'll get 1 level of exhaustion.
And what is the? No, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't think if Alexander would actually want to sleep or not after that.
Yeah.
So,
If he doesn't
to be
want to,
100% clear, Atlas did. He felt angry after just being here for how long?
I stayed the
stay
night.
the night.
And was he angry after sleeping?
I don't think so.
Yeah. You
I
woke
just-
up out of your sleep.
And that is clear to Alexander.
Sure.
I want to be basing it on
I mean, you
what
can ask those
Atlas
questions,
said.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, how long of travel is it from here to the next fort by the standard pace we've been going?
It would take about 1 day.
All right.
You looking at your map where it was marked, and where Atlas told you it would be. Wouldn't even take you a day. It would take you until like 2 p.m. to get there if you left, or like at 8 a.m. 5 or 6
All right.
hours.
So, with what Alexander knows right now, he is going to say it to everyone that he's going to stay the whole night, that he's not going to sleep,
Okay.
and he's going to do just that.
So Atlas would say, regarding your former question about how it made me feel, imagine you've been in the sun, 120 degrees. You've been lashed all day with your brothers in arms, none of which you have names, for open wounds, festering wounds, and then you're hung upside down under a dock by a contraption tied to a lever, and then dunked into the ocean, the biting ocean, the salt and the wounds, held under far beyond when you can normally hold your breath, and then cranked back out, hanging underneath this pier, and then dunked again, and then dunked again, and then dunked again. That resentment, that anger that builds up in you towards the man who's dunking you, that's what I was feeling, except it was unprovoked. I simply camped here for the night, and then it was like that, and that's how I felt. I wanted to get the man who was pulling that lever. So that's what it felt like.
One hell of a dream.
If only.
And Dan, are you explaining your dream at all? I know we heard it, but
So I kind of shouted it to try to calm you guys down, to like let you know that wasn't what was attacking me. But I can certainly explain it more now that everyone's in their right mind.
I assume the next morning we've all.
I don't think the night has passed quite yet.
Oh,
Yeah. Dannerby is explaining it to you.
And I basically, as it was explained by Matt, I'm gonna pretty much tell you exactly that.
Okay.
No details about the gnome girl.
No details? All right.
Just that there was, yeah,
a young lass.
not who it was or
Less
details.
than young.
Yeah.
Anti-young.
Very creepy how he describes things falling off and cacophonous laughter, and how she was essentially turning into something very unseductive and yelling things in the moment of passion that people normally do. You can see why Dannerby was affected this way. Like, he just looking at him, he seems a little more gaunt and lifeless.
I noticed that he looks very different from what he did.
He doesn't look different like a new person, but he does look physically worse for the wear. It's after 1 day of travel shouldn't do this to him.
Danner, the spells that you cast on Tup's daughter, you got one of those for yourself and see if that'll help at all? You're not looking...
Not at the moment, but I have it. If I take some time and prepare it tomorrow, I can...
What spell is that? What spell do you want to try?
Would be Lesser Restoration is what you...
Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
It's just not one of my prepared ones.
All right. You can try.
I know you're for knowing it. I'm just not knowing if it's for helping. All right.
But we're still in the middle of the night, though, right? Or have we gotten on in the morning?
I don't believe
It's still
anyone
the middle
knows.
of the night.
Yeah. So I'm staying up all night.
So if you're staying up all night, I'm gonna go like hang out with you.
Sure.
Just because I'm not like physically imposing or able to fight very well, so I'm gonna like stick by someone who can fight.
All right.
Because it really shook me, this whole thing.
Yeah, I'll just kind of be by my, just be in my corner, trying to relax, but certainly avoid nodding off. If I start getting tired, I'm gonna start doing practice swings
All right.
far away from Dannerby so I don't accidentally pop off his head.
Alrighty then. You willingly stay up the rest of the night? Both Dannerby and Alexander. And it is the morning time.
Say I'm going to bed, but good enough.
Oh, yeah. You go to bed, everyone goes to bed, and the morning time now. The sun starts peeking through the clouds a little bit.
One level of exhaustion.
I'm gonna try.
One level of exhaustion for Dannerby and Alexander.
Yeah. I'm gonna try Lesser Restoration now.
You cast Lesser Restoration. Does that remove...
You touch a creature. You touch a creature and either one disease or one condition.
Alright, but the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed. Alright, but you're still exhausted.
Okay.
Yeah, you still have one level of exhaustion. You do that trying to seek inner peace, and you still feel gaunt. And he looks it, too. For a moment, your cheeks fill up with color, and you're the old Dannerby, but then a quick second later, your cheeks get sunken in a little bit. You look a little skinny. So it did not work. It seems you need something more powerful than Lesser Restoration.
A greater restoration.
Is what you're thinking. Your mind's going to it. You're like, this didn't work. There's only one other thing that could possibly work, and that is greater restoration.
No, I don't have that, so.
I'd kind of like to do a check to see if I've heard of anything like this, like in stories.
Yeah, like
Would that be like
arcane
history?
or history. History for stories, absolutely. You're trying to think of it. All these stories in your childhood, and you're thinking back to the library that you used to go to in your own manner, mind you, in your own librarian. All of them run together, and you think you have heard something like this, but you can't quite place the creature in all these fantastical worlds that authors used to write about. All right.
Snow bees.
You snow bees. Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I got nothing. This is
All right.
weird.
All right. So, guys, what do you want to do?
I vote we get out of here.
Yeah, let's move farther away from this fort.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
All right. So, you guys, how
And
far
on
away?
the way
Oh,
there, I'd like to ask everybody what we actually plan to do once we reach this occupied fort.
yes. And which direction do you wish to approach from? How do you want to go about this?
In character, I'm just gonna ask, let's be certain, why do we want to fight these people?
Because they want to kill us.
Okay.
I mean,
plan, first of all,
it doesn't say we're fighting them either. We're scouting them out. I saw smoke, my friend. I don't know.
Right.
They could be the the Helm. They could be the Church of Helm for all I know. You know?
And right now we're going on the assumption that these are the people that burnt down the other encampment that we had. That's
Probably.
fair enough for the moment.
More likely than being the Church of Helm, for sure.
Yeah.
So to the north of that camp is a pretty big forest. Same to the south. In theory, based on the Wildlands map that we already have.
Where's the fort at based on that little lake on, what did I call that river?
I don't know if we can call that. I mean, we're talking this map versus the one we see.
Yeah.
And then this is just the one the uncle gave us.
I guess, did I pass a lake when I was on the river towards them? Or did I never pass a lake?
The stream went somewhere. You gather it was a lake, probably?
Okay.
My guess is that fort is built right around the lake, looking at what we know and looking at where it is, based on your account, Atlas. We've got the north to run into, forest-wise. Now, not praying we ain't seeing any more ents or creepy crawlies that we need to deal with. We know to the south are army ants of no fun displeasure.
I mean, I could approach from the lake. It doesn't really help you guys, but two avenues are better than one, perhaps. I mean, or the forest. I mean, I can tell you that the way I marched in, which was following the lake, we were as clear as day. We'd have to approach at night to have any chance of them not seeing us coming. But if we approach from the forest, it's a shorter jog, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, we ain't likely to be killing a platoon. I mean, if truth be told on them, I've got no reason to let them live.
By the way, you know that a platoon roughly equates to 22 to 30 people.
And do we know that it's a platoon, or is that just a word we're using?
I know it.
Atlas used.
That's
Okay,
what
you know
Atlas used.
I know it's a platoon.
Said. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're assuming about 20 men.
And I didn't have to roll
22 to
for
30,
it.
yeah.
22 to 30. Okay.
Yeah.
His
All right,
word
so-
is-
Either way, bringing this up, Alexander is going to say, as much as I'd love to combat such odds and come out victorious, would we come out victorious?
Well, my thoughts are, why don't we bring a bunch of them into the forest? The forest to the north there, if you're looking at your Wildlands map, if we can bring them into that, they ain't going to send everyone after a group. A flaming arrow or two stuck into their wall, they might come chasing. And if they come chasing, I say we take out as many as we can in the forest.
You all left your horses at the outpost, right?
Yeah.
We haven't left the outpost
Okay,
yet
you're about
necessarily.
to.
It's that morning.
Okay.
Right. And conversation as it be as we kind of make up some meal and formulate a plan.
I mean, if you want, I could swim down the river and try to get a better look.
I get what you're saying. It's damn cold in that water.
It's fair.
I know you don't deal well with the cold.
I do just fine with the cold.
You're more accustomed to the fancier things in life.
No, I was born in Chillkeep, my friend. I'm okay with the cold. Just one bad day, okay? Just one bad day.
Bad day happens to us all, and I'm not meaning to fight you. But if that bad day happens again while you're going down a river,
I don't really want to do that.
I don't want to see you dead. I truly don't, despite the arrow. So my best thought is, let's use guerrilla tactics. Let's try and lure out what we can, and let's just make it hell for them to live where they do. Why don't we sit in that forest? Why don't we wait to see if any if any of those workers are coming into the forest.
So if we're going to do that, then I think what we should do is check out the north side. Basically, I'm worried about them trying to send messengers now, and that I'd like to secure both the east and west sides of the river from that camp and see if we see anything. Because basically, I'm okay with siege. Siege warfare is fine with me. However, I'm worried they'll send a message, and we might have to deal with that.
Well, you thought of a lot of what I didn't.
I'm okay with this taking weeks. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. I just don't want them sending a message and then me having to swim my ass out there anyways.
I would change our tactics to trying to fight in the south there. I don't want to risk a messenger. And you're absolutely right. I hadn't thought about it. Them running and calling for help hadn't really crossed my mind.
It's weeks away, but if one slips through and he's determined enough, and I know these folks are determined. So, what was the D20, Matt? Huh? What's that? Nice crit right there, you
I don't know
jerk.
what you're talking about. Anyways, so what have you guys decided?
Scout this out and not engage them.
The problem is you can't scout 10 miles away. I mean, they're going to either see us or we're going to do it at night. And if we're going to do it at night, we might as well poke around a little bit. You know what I mean?
We should try something crafty.
Essentially what Atlas, you gathered, and you can tell the rest party this, is that this lake is, as the terrain gets closer to it, it is quite flat around there. Where the old outpost is, you see some hills in the distance, and it's not quite as flat. But as soon as you get about 10 miles away from this other outpost, they could possibly spot you if they had good enough lookouts, or if they had flyers of some type to report back to them, or things of that nature. They won't physically see you, but they might have ways. This is what your training has instilled in you, that they might have ways to detect you. But it's nothing certain. There's a chance you could sneak through during the day up to like a mile and a half.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is I guess if we're going to go close enough to see what they're up to, we need to be ready to fight, but we also need to have a couple backup plans of like what Fel was saying, like sabotage, and be able to start some problems up close, whether we're going to engage in combat right there or if we're going to do some damage while we're up there, you know.
It's a question for Matt, but to Atlas and Alexander, does House Saris take slave labor, or is everyone who's laboring for them know what they signed up for?
House Saris, most houses take slave labor.
Yeah, I was gonna say the unseen don't volunteer.
I'd imagine it's not like chattel slavery.
Have you mentioned the unseen at all, Atlas?
I mean,
No.
I could discuss it more. Okay.
He hasn't. You haven't in character mentioned anything about unseen.
I would have to check my notes because you're sure I've never said anything.
I've never heard the word before.
Okay. So you've kept it silent this entire time.
All right, that's fair. But I did earlier in the day mention that when the tree ant was talking about the dudes who looked like me, who were what was the words you used? Yeah, I mean, not the word tattoo, but it was black. Yeah. You know, inked or whatever. Yeah. I did mention that those guys were like me when I was talking to the tree, and I was saying, hey, not everybody's bad like those guys.
I guess the only reason I say, do I take hostages or do I take corpses for lumberers?
I mean, we should have some people to question, but there's no reason to take hostages. A platoon is very loyal, and they burned down our camp. There's no way
I'm not worried about the army's dead. I got no problem putting an arrow through the army. I don't want to be killing innocent folk that are slaves, that are victim of circumstance.
Just somewhat knowing the militaristic tactics of them, I have no reason to believe they would have brought slaves with them. It was a platoon, it was an army sent here for a particular task, and they were enacting that task.
I wipe my conscience on you that if I kill a laborer, They know what they signed up for. That is not a slave. That is not someone that's working against their will.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that if they do
Then we take hostages over corpses. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. If the
Danner, you agree with me? If they sign up with House Saris, Alexander the same. If they signed up with them, they know what they got themselves into. If they're forced into it, I don't want to be killing them.
I say if they seek protection, I offer it. But if not, let God sort it out.
There is no glory in fighting innocence. That we will defeat the people that have come here to take what is rightfully ours, yours, whatever, and but casualties are almost inevitable. But if that can be avoided, that would be best.
I don't like spilling innocent blood.
Same.
An Atlas, I don't like spilling innocent blood.
I mean, I don't want to. I have no idea what you're going to see. All I can tell you is a platoon is just a group of regular dudes that House Sarah sent out.
We got to assume they got slaves though, and the people chopping wood ain't bad.
I mean, the craftsmanship is great. That I will concede that it's likely that they have.
It's why I don't trust goddamn politicians. All right, let's keep moving because he's talking without saying a goddamn word, and I can't stand it.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
No, I'm
not gonna say whether they do or don't. You know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm absolutely playing as a character and not. My goal is to frustrate you a bit.
And this is the scene where the person's like, "Thank you so much," and Atlas just appears behind him and just severs him right in half.
All right.
So,
okay. So you feel a blade at your. No, I'm just joking.
So, anyways, the platoon is what I'm worried about. Okay, if you see a man with no weapon, feel free to ignore him.
What direction are you guys going to be attempting?
So my initial thought, based on looking at your map, the forest to the north is where they're harvesting their wood from. The forest to the south is where they're going to escape from.
I think they're going to go downriver, man. I think they're going to escape west. That's what I'm thinking. Down the river. I want to secure the river so that they have no quick way out. That's what I'm worried about. And also, if they're on the lake, I want to know if they have a dock. If they don't even have a dock and they're just inside of walls, they've never even made a boat, I'm not worried about it. But if they have a dock, they're thinking escape via dock. So.
Well, none of this is going to matter if we never get there and start investigating. So
Very true.
Why don't we go and camp out until nightfall and then check out the place and figure out what we're going to do?
Where are we camping? Why don't we camp into the North Woods? Why don't we try and camp around the border of it, given a little bit of breadth to the outpost itself? I got no problem slaughtering every man inside of that place, as long as it's for deserving. And I think if we can at least observe from the north a bit, and we'll start to make our way. At least I've got the Wildlands map up and pulling it, and what Tam has sent to us. It's a point I hadn't thought of them running and trying to call for help, and it's a good point, Atlas. Why don't we go just to the north? Why don't we look to see if we can observe their laborers doing something? Fair?
I like it. It gets us close.
All right, so you guys are going north. I'm assuming you guys are going to kind of go up and around once you get to a certain area.
Yeah, I mean, everything's based off of Atlas's map. I'm looking for that forest. Yeah, there she is.
You get to about there, based on it's where you think you are at the moment. You're probably, based on the map where you have the outpost marked, you're probably around 5 miles or so away, maybe 6. from the outpost camped here. You started to go a little bit further, but then you noticed some wood chopping sound echoing throughout the forest. So you went back a little bit, probably about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from where you were going to camp.
A lot of room.
And you set up camp. It's still daytime, but the coverage of the trees is still thick. A little bit less conifers and fir trees, essentially. You're starting to get more into the oaks, sycamores. Some of them don't have leaves. Some of them do, but they're just brown. They're not active. So you guys set up camp, try to get some day rest. And Dannerby?
Are there any small animals around?